any time that this government, whether it's facility fees, whether it's CXC fees, any time you get opposition, because they do not, some of them do not believe, Mr. Speaker, that the people of St. Lucia must come first.
The House of Assembly convened on Tuesday to debate and vote on the motion to extend the barrel concessions beginning the 1st of February and coming to a close on the last day of March. The Member of Parliament for Choiseul Saltibus, Bradley Felix, stated his support for the motion, noting, however, that it would not go far enough to alleviate the hardship on the ground, and called on the government to be fair in its disbursement of resources to opposition constituencies.
I thought it was an important time to put that to the Honourable Prime Minister, because a lot of people believe his words that he was, going to come in, to see after all, Mr. Speaker, albeit obviously the people on your side would benefit greater, Mr. Speaker. But when we look at how the pie is shared, Mr. Speaker, it is very heartbreaking. So I support the extension, Mr. Speaker, but I want to bring to the members' attention, let us be a little more fair in how you go about distributing.
The Member of Parliament for Castries South, Dr. Ernest Hilaire, said this administration had taken steps to ensure that opposition constituencies were treated fairly, a far cry, he said, from what obtained during the reign of the former administration.
But he's upset. But he said nothing when they fired over 1,000 persons in this country. And many public servants, persons were treated with utter disrespect and disdain by the last government, maliciously, especially by the former Prime Minister. And he said nothing, Mr. Speaker. And he is complaining, Mr. Speaker, about how much money he's getting. In Castries South, Mr. Speaker, nothing had happened for the last 5 years. Not a road was fixed. The Pastor Joseph Community Center is the same way it was from 2015 going into 2016. It will be finished in the next financial year, Mr. Speaker. And the member from Choiseul Saltibus sat there and said nothing, Mr. Speaker.
The leader of the opposition, Alan Chasney, stated his support for the motion and, like his colleague, argued that given the impact of inflation, this would do little to ease the pressure being felt by the people.
The fact is that there is no easy solution to this problem, Mr. Speaker. There are many things that are causing the price of goods to go up. There are many things that are causing shortages. Every day we see on our TV, in developed worlds, which would have never had shortages of products, that grocery shop shelves are lacking those products. And we see the significant increase in inflation. And Mr. Speaker, that inflationary cost is bringing up a more critical issue, which is the prospect that interest rates are going to go up. Now, considering St. Lucia has not yet recovered from the impact of the pandemic, which it's well documented as to what it's caused.
Prime Minister Philip J. Pierre said St. Lucia had no control over the increased prices of goods produced overseas, but will address what is within the government's control.
But the only reason why the total cost plus the import duty is not paid by the consumer, because we've removed the import duty and the VAT. Very simple. Very simple. So at a national level, if we have to do anything about it, we have to take a decision whether we can cause a loss in revenue by reducing the import duty or reducing the VAT on these imported goods. That's the simplest question for solution for inflation. But when I went to an interview and I said to people, for their food security, something we can control, which is the planting of bananas, they could consume more and reduce the food import bill and hence cause a curb on the inflated price of food. You and your party decided you would ridicule me.
The extension of the concessions, which is a waiver on import duty and value-added tax on select goods, among them food items, clothing and toys, with commercial and electronic items excluded, is intended to create relief for families struggling under the pressures of supply chain disruptions, increased prices and COVID-19 created hardship. With the barrel concession in existence for more than 2 decades, there is no known study on the segment of society which is benefiting from these generous concessions intended to assist the disadvantaged. Stanley Lucian for the HS News Force.